Donny come on, we saw the game change a lot. And I know a lot of United fans uh, don't see what Donny brings to this team. I think Donny brings the intangibles to this team. Every time he plays versus a McTominay, the ball moves forward. The ball moves quicker. It's more players get involved in the play. And this is the problem we have when we have the likes of Fred and McTominay is we're always looking for the long ball. We're always looking for the long pass. We never involve the team. And this is why the likes of Sancho were nowhere to be seen. The likes of Rashford were nowhere to be seen. Ericsson came into the game in the second half because he wasn't up front. He wasn't isolated up front. So I think that's what Donny does. His movement, the way he releases the ball, the way, he's always thinking 2 steps ahead. And I think football is not just all about running for the sake of running or scoring 50 plus goals a season. There's more to the game than just that. And I think Donny's going to come good this season. Mark my word on that. I think Donny will come good this season. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the new season 2022 to 2023. Obviously, everyone is excited. Everyone is happy the new season has started. But obviously, that excitement is short-lived, depending on the club that you do support. But I just wanted to first of all say, obviously, I have not released enough content, a lot of content this summer, just because obviously it's the summer, the transfer window. It's a lot more rumors than actual actions taking place in the market. So I just didn't really want to repeat myself way too much, especially when, transfers are not confirmed and it's all rumor, So there's been a lot of going on, but I'm excited to be back to continue to release some content for you guys. And I know I really appreciate those of you that have supported me throughout last season, moving on to the season. So yeah, man, let's get started. Obviously, the new season is upon us. We saw Arsenal versus Crystal Palace on Friday. Obviously, Arsenal had a really fantastic preseason. They're really showing they're working as a team. They've got a very young team. They've got Gabriel Jesus, who has joined the lineup as well. So he's firing all cylinders, and it's nice to see Jesus getting the spotlight, especially after leaving City. So hopefully that continues. We don't know. Obviously, Arsenal, with that game, obviously they won 2-0 against Crystal Palace. It was not the most convincing result from Arsenal, especially what we had seen from them during preseason. So, but obviously we know preseason is totally different from regular season. But so far they got the 3 points, and that's all they could ask for in their first, the first game back. And we never know. Obviously, all eyes are still going to be in Arsenal. There's still a lot of doubt about that team. They're still young, still lacking a little bit of experience, even though, like I said, they've added the likes of Gabriel Jesus in there. There's a few other players that are coming in. They're also being linked with West Ham's Bowen as well. So Arsenal looks like they're really doing some solid business in the market, and Arteta is really bringing this team together, and the sky is the limit for this team. But like we've said, Arsenal has a history of dropping the ball and whatnot. So let's see how the season goes. It's going to be an exciting season, especially now that we're going to having a lot of games, about 3 games per season. It's going to be very tough to see how these teams are able to cope with the workload, and also with the World Cup coming for the first time in history. We're having this November, December, in the middle of a season. So this is also going to impact how well players do. I know obviously the likes of Liverpool, I'm hearing that they don't have too many players that are going to the World Cup. So that could be an advantage for certain clubs and could be a disadvantage for certain clubs. So it's going to be an exciting season. So let's get straight to it. Obviously, we saw over the weekend, Man City did what Man City had to do. Eden Haaland, no one ever doubted that he was not going to score. He's not going to be successful in the EPL. I think he will be successful. You saw the likes of Tottenham. Tottenham has done really well in the market as well. Kuluchevski picking up from where he left off last season. Two fantastic goals from him as well. You've got, that's Tottenham's looking strong. Tottenham's looking strong for, I believe it was 4-1. They won as well. Chelsea, Chelsea still not looking convincing. They still got a lot of work to do in the transfer market. But overall, they got the 3 points. Obviously, it's against an Everton who, is not doing so well. And obviously, they took advantage of, they walked away with the 3 points. But it's against Everton. So it raises the question, is Chelsea ready to compete in the top four with what they currently have? And to me, the answer is no. They still need to get busy in that market. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Chelsea performs. Who else do we got? Obviously Liverpool. Liverpool, unfortunate again. I think Liverpool, they played pretty well the first game against Fulham. But Fulham played really well. The first game I heard that Van Dijk had to slide tackle, and he caused the penalty for that game. So, but I think Liverpool with the unfortunate team, they tied the game, which is still not a bad result. But a team like Liverpool that, they want to be toe-to-toe with City from the start. It's going to be now a difficult battle for them, especially dropping 2 points in the first game of the season. But you can see that obviously still early doors, and I'm sure that they will improve. So, yeah. So that's it, man. Let me just get straight to it. It's going to be very brief. Obviously, as a Manchester United fan, those of you that listen to me are probably mostly United fans as well. Like we said, right? All excitement. Preseason looked pretty decent. We brought in a few players. Not enough players that we would have liked, but we did bring in a few players. So, I gotta say, yeah, I'm excited to see the rest of the season. But yesterday's game against Brighton was a rude awakening. And I think for those of us that have followed Manchester United for a very long time, especially the last few seasons closely, can see that, the same problems are still there. The same players are still there, and nothing really has changed. Obviously, the starting lineup yesterday, having Eriksen as a false nine, having Bruno up top, it was a weird lineup. I can't lie. It was pretty weird. It was pretty weird to see our two playmakers, our two best playmakers, that is in Bruno and Eriksen, playing up top. So we literally had no midfield. And I know we've had no midfield for a very long time, but it was pretty clear and obvious that our two playmakers were playing striker. Didn't make sense to me. I would have rather seen. Obviously, people can talk about Ronaldo not starting the game. I'm really happy Ronaldo did not start, because I think if we're trying to change the culture of United, that's the first step, is to say, okay, Ronaldo, we respect you. You've done everything in the game. We respect you, but the shenanigans and the drama that you caused all summer, that's unacceptable. And I get it. He wants to compete in the Champions League. He wants to achieve goals, and he wants to keep winning. But that's not the way to do it. And I think he approached it the wrong way. And I know some people might disagree with me. If you're a Ronaldo fan, you might disagree that Ronaldo can do no wrong. But in my opinion, if Ten Hag needs to set the standards straight, and from the beginning. And what better player to do it with than Ronaldo? So I felt like he was trying to make a point by not starting Ronaldo, and that's perfectly fine. During preseason, we scored team goals. We didn't rely on one person to give us goals. So I'm hoping that United can move forward with that, where we're not relying on one player to score us goals every game. So I was happy with that, but I thought he was gonna do more of a Rashford as a 9, which obviously I'm not happy with, but that's all we've got. And I think Rashford might have been a better useful in the middle. Put Bruno on the left, Eriksen in the center, obviously Sancho on the right wing, and then if you wanted to play your McTominay and Fred, but I would have rather had Van de Beek and Fred in there. Fred for the energy, Van de Beek to link that play to Eriksen, and Bruno on the left wing to spam those crosses in. So that's what I thought was going to be the setup, and then seeing that was kind of threw me off. But we did see that it's the second half, when those changes were made, Ronaldo came on, so we had a bit more of a focal point up front, and then you had Rashford was still on the left wing, and then when Donny came on, and we saw Donny come on, we saw the game change a lot. And I know a lot of United fans uh, don't see what Donny brings to this team. I think Donny brings the intangibles to this team. Every time he plays versus a McTominay, the ball moves forward. The ball moves quicker. It's more players get involved in the play. And this is the problem we have when we have the likes of Fred and McTominay is we're always looking for the long ball. We're always looking for the long pass. We never involve the team. And this is why the likes of Sancho were nowhere to be seen. The likes of Rashford were nowhere to be seen. Eriksen came into the game in the second half because he wasn't up front. He wasn't isolated up front. So I think that's what Donny does. His movement, the way he releases the ball, the way, he's always thinking 2 steps ahead. And I think football is not just all about running for the sake of running or scoring 50 plus goals a season. There's more to the game than just that. And I think Donny's going to come good this season. Mark my word on that. I think Donny will come good this season. I'm happy to see Eriksen. But guys, the result yesterday was still unacceptable. No matter the lineup that we started was still unacceptable, guys. I think we still need a few signings. Obviously, this morning we're being linked to the likes of Rabiot. We're being linked to the guy from Bologna, the striker from Bologna, Arnautovic. I believe that's his name, Arnautovic. But at the same time, it's just like, are those good enough? Or we're going back to the same thing that we did with the likes of Igalo, Cavani, Ronaldo. We're doing the same thing over again, and I just don't like that. I know he's 33 years old. He's coming in for $7 million. It's just like we need to start moving forward and getting the players like Kuluchevski. Why can't we go get a Kuluchevski? Why can't we go get a Ruben Diaz? I mean, a Diaz from Luis Diaz. I mean, not Ruben Diaz. Luis Diaz from Liverpool. Why can't we go and select those players? We have Neves, Neves from Wolves. Why can't we go and get those players that are already tested and proven in the EPL or are a promising talent that we can bring it in and they can hit the ground running? I'm tired of bringing players in to sit on the bench or to buffer the squad, when our first team is not even playing that well. You know what I mean? So why are we focused on getting players that are not going to start when our first team are not good enough to start? That's the frustrating part as a United fan is we need to get our transfers right. Something's got to change, guys. Something's got to change. But in Ten Hag we trust. And I know it's early doors, but I want to give him a little bit of time. I think he's going to be a manager who's going to rotate a little bit. He's going to switch it up a little bit. I think he's definitely going to be doing that. Because he brought in the kids yesterday, Garnacho, he brought in Garner as well. He showed that he's gonna start rotating the squad, and I like to see that. I would like to see those guys coming on at least 10 minutes versus yesterday they came in the 90th minute. They came on in the 90th minute, but all they did was defend. They couldn't really get out their half. So I think we need to start using these players a lot more and a lot earlier. So let me know what your thoughts about the Rabiot links as well. I don't really know, guys. The Rabiot thing is kind of fishy to me. It seems very desperate, especially after the result of yesterday. And this is why I think it's very good to do business early, before the start of the season, because now the whole world has seen our game yesterday. And now they've seen our game yesterday, and now they're thinking, oh, well, we can jack up our price because we know United is now going to be desperate. Because United, we can't continue the season with our team like this. Like, at that point, we're expecting Ten Hag to perform miracles because nothing has really changed from last season. Yeah, we brought in Malacia, we brought in Martinez, who I thought was pretty good yesterday. A few mistakes, but when the team was so dysfunctional yesterday, you can't really point at individuals like that. The team was just overall poor. So I'm not gonna get at individuals, even though we know the typical, we know the typical guys, your Rashfords, your Brunos, just did not perform. McTominay hiding again. So I'm not going to go into the same rambling about the individual players because it was the same thing from last season. So I think the new players that have come in, they still need time to get into the team. Martinez didn't play preseason with us, so he's still a little rusty. But I think they will come good. But we need reinforcements. I would take Rabiot for 30 million. If that means that I don't want, that means that McTominay is not playing, I would take Rabiot. But does that solve our problem long term? I don't think it does. Coming from the French squad as well, he's had problems, disciplinary issues as well with his mother being his agent. So there's just a lot of things that is writing against that deal. But if it means that we're not going to see McTominay play again, or at least not week in, week out, I would take that deal. I will take that deal. But like I said, we still need reinforcements. Obviously, it's early doors. We're beginning to see the cracks again. We're beginning to see these cracks again. And I hope that the board can back Ten Hag. But it's early doors. I think on the positive yesterday was to see how shit we were in the first half. But in the second half, we began to push it a little bit. But Brighton also made changes that tilted the game in the last 10 minutes. So that kind of snuffed that momentum that we had after that first goal. So it's going to be very interesting, guys. I'm sure Ronaldo will be starting the next game because Martial is currently injured again. Frustrating. Looks like, according to Graham Souness, we got another injury-prone player on our hands. I just hope that Martial can come back sooner and perform like he did in preseason. But we can't rely on just Martial and Ronaldo. We need more reinforcements up front, and we also need quality. And I'm not talking just reinforcements. We're talking about quality reinforcements. But that's really it, guys. Obviously, next week we're going to be home to... who are we playing next week, actually? I've not even really looked at... Brentford. We're playing Brentford. Brentford just tied Leicester City yesterday. So Brentford is another tough team. Eriksen's former team, so he's probably going to be up for it as well. So let's see what happens, guys. I'm positive that Ten Hag is going to rotate the squad. I'm pretty positive on that. He's going to rotate the squad. So I'm not too worried. It's not Ole. That's the one positive I can take away. This is not the Ole era where he's, where we know it's going to be the same lineup next week and nothing changes. So I'm a little positive that Ten Hag is going to rotate the squad a little bit, give some of the young guys a fresh start. And maybe we might see Malacia start instead of Luke Shaw. Those little kind of changes. Maguire again. Maybe we might see a Varane and Martinez partnership instead of Maguire still being there again. So there's going to be a lot of changes, I think. But overall, I'm still a little optimistic about the season. It's early doors. We can't start panicking too much. But other than that, guys, it's definitely been fun. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and I'm out.
Yeah, and then Liverpool and every team, okay, so we have a watch fucking Harry. He's watching the ball, not watching where the ball's going. Oh, okay, point.
He actually gets back into position.
And I'm not going to stop the guy running in.
And crosses the way to get the rebound.
So Fred is at fault for me for both the two. Again,
they're blaming him as well.
He's trying to get forward. So, what you said last time, right?
Yeah. He always loses his man. Always.
You have to deal with
I don't like the fact that ball came in and Harry didn't try to stop it. Hey, because that guy could have easily scored. You're letting the ball get crossed. You stopped the cross. I'm sorry. Harry is a fucking detriment. Shaw always seems to follow his lead. England.
Just 3 players. All we had to do was find 3 players. We would have had a completely different team.
What's going on? Oh yeah, they got a poker party.